I didn't realize that Vince Vaughn was retiring because he hated his career. It's time for another episode of Actors Ruining My Childhood Nostalgia, Vince Vaughn edition. Vince Vaughn got friendly with Donald Trump and other members of the Republican Party, so much so that the White House made a movie poster about it and tweeted it out, sparking anger from those on the left because for some reason they thought he was a reasonable dude, despite the fact that he's played the same exact character in almost every single movie, and that character is insufferable. As with almost every episode in this series, when you give it even the slightest pause of reflection, you realize that you knew this all along. This isn't actually a surprise. You were just a child and you didn't know any better. Which is why you probably didn't notice that beginning with his first movie and character Swingers, all the way through Old School, Jurassic Park Lost World, Wedding Crashers, Vince Vaughn has played the exact same person with very little departures. When you actually go back and revisit them through the lens of 2025, you realize that they're an over-celebration of mediocre men doing misogynistic things that are praised for no other reason than that they're insensitive and disrespectful to women. And listen, I loved Old School as much as the next person, probably one of my favorite movies, but his character is just an awful person. The whole entire time he resents his family. He's like in a back room with a teenager at a house party doing whippets in his mid-30s, and because he had some sort of like quick realization that he should really be with his wife, we're supposed to find it endearing. But that's like every character he played. It's like just this side of raunchy, the quick talking, witty guy, doesn't want to settle down, wants to be single, wants to be with all the women. I mean, just the caricature of every mid guy that wants to be something he's not. Charming and witty, so we forget that he's consistently objectifying women in every single role. And really, with Wedding Crashers, the best part of the whole movie was the supporting cast. And I don't know about Owen Wilson's political affiliations, but honestly, I could have done without both him and Vince Vaughn in this. Obviously, Vince is very comfortable in a red hat. It's not the first time Vince Vaughn has been criticized for his relationship with Donald Trump. Back in January 2020 at the LSU-Clemson game, he was seen shaking the hand of Trump and having a friendly conversation with him. At the time, when asked about it, Vince Vaughn sort of walked back a little and said, "Hey, I also shook hands with James Carville, and I'm a libertarian. The only candidate I support is Ron Paul." That's not any better, Vince. That does not help your cause. And if you're posing with someone like Nancy Mace, who posts some of the most hateful and vile rhetoric, I know what side you're on. But if you're like, "Hey, Casey, no, I went to some sort of charity event, I didn't know." Sir, if you go to a Republican party, a party with many Republicans, it's like walking through a landmine, only the entire field is full of explosives, not just one. My point is, there's a pretty strong assurance that you're going to be taking a picture with somebody that is absolutely a foul human being. And you know that going into it, so it's not a problem for you, which is terrible. Additionally, Vince Vaughn believes that you should have guns in schools. There's actually a really long, aggressive, and passionate quote about arming people in schools, and it occurred to me when I was reading that how much he wants to resemble the characters in the movie that he plays. That's who he wants to be. And it was pretty cool when I was a teenager, and I thought that that was sexy. Now I realize it's tired, it's boring, it's old, and it's gross. And if you're wondering how you can not support him, he has a new movie that's coming out called Nanas, which actually the premise is pretty cute, but I am going to have to say, so sorry, Susan Sarandon. I'd rather put my money with someone who doesn't want to help bring about the fall of democracy. Thank you.